Here are the 5 things Navy Federal won't tell you and can get you denied in the future. Navy Federal is one of the biggest credit unions in America, and actually as of right now, the most talked about. They're based off more so relationship banking than that your actual score and credit profile itself. Just relationship banking alone can get you endless products, from personal loans, $80,000 in credit card funding, no money down home and auto loans, and the list goes on and on, just to name some. But did you know that there are actually some things that Navy Federal won't tell you when it comes to their internal scoring systems? So in this video, I'm going to go over the 5 things Navy Federal won't tell you that you should know. Coming in at number 1, Navy Federal won't tell you that they actually have their little own internal scoring system, which is actually called your internal score. Everybody has one when it comes to these guys. It ranges from around 100 to 450. In my knowledge, it's best to be around the 250 range. It's kind of like the happy middle. I'm going to explain why. The reason why that they have this actual internal scoring system is because, again, they're based off of relationship banking. So they have to have something to actually put a number to you to see how much of a relationship that you have with them. Let me explain. What I mean by that is, let's just say, for example, you just got into Navy Federal, and let's just say you have a 720 or a 700, doesn't matter, a really, really high credit score. And let's say you just got there, and tomorrow you're like, oh, I'm gonna go for their home loans, auto loans. I'm gonna just run it up on them tomorrow. 9 times out of 10, you will be denied for probably majority of the products that you ask for. Let me explain. The reason why is because you have no relationship with them and you have no score with them. So to actually eradicate this, when you actually get into Navy Federal, best thing to do is to show them that you're going to be a loyal customer and raise your internal score. What that means is start actually allowing your direct deposit to actually come over into their actual bank account. Navy Federal loves direct deposits. I'm telling you. Actually open up not only just a savings account, open up a checking account too. Open up a flagship account. There's no harm to you. Get a pledge loan. And if you don't understand what a pledge loan is with these guys, hit the link in the bio. I'm going to put it down there. I promise you, you're going to love it. So basically what I'm trying to say is actually go for all of their products that actually doesn't harm you or your credit score, and show them that you're actually going to be with them for the long haul. Because again, Navy Federal is more so on the, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. So if we go back to the example, and let's just say you have the 700, even if you have a 600 credit score, I'm telling you, if you have all of these acclimates and you actually go for some type of funding, no matter what the credit score is, I promise you, you will not be denied. And also another thing is, the internal score is so secret and so well kept that a lot of representatives don't even know what it is. I can't tell you how many times I've called the hotline and actually asked people for my internal score, and the representatives either didn't know what I was talking about, or even lied and said, we don't know what you're talking, we don't have an internal scoring system. Or they could have been telling the truth and said, we don't have an internal scoring system. But how do I know it's real? If you ever apply for something and you get denied, 9 times out of 10, they're going to send you a letter. And when they send you a letter, what they're going to do is explain why you got denied, and they'll actually show your internal score stating you're here, you need to be here. You need to be here to actually get approved for something. So the best thing to do is to actually chat them within the app and ask them for your internal score. Now, it might take some time. They still might give you the runaround, but eventually you can get it. So keep that in mind as well. All right, coming in at number 2 is, if you're actually not active military or inactive military, there's still a way on how you can become a Navy Federal member. It's called the household hack, or aka the backdoor method. You can actually become a Navy Federal member without having military background, or sometimes in even most cases, family members. So let's go over the household hack. So number 1 is, let's just say you're not affiliated with the military, but let's just say that you have a roommate or somebody close to you that you live with, and they actually have some type of background, military, as far as Air Force, Marines, the list goes on. So what you can do is you can actually call up Navy Federal and you can actually let them know, hey, I'm not affiliated, but John Smith that I live with, or whoever you live with, isn't actually Marines or anything of that nature, and I would like to get a Navy Federal account. The reason why is because you share the same address, household hack, and the same benefit that he or she gets, you can get as well just by having the same address. So keep that in mind. Now, the backdoor method. The backdoor method is basically stating that you call up Navy Federal and you let them know, hey, I had a relative that was in the military. I don't have their access code because everybody has an access code with Navy Federal, but they were in the military and they passed away. It could have been a grandparent or anything of that nature. And I want to know if I'm able to actually get in with Navy Federal. 7 times out of 10, they can actually get you still acclimated with Navy Federal if you have the right representative on the line. Take that information as you will. I'm not telling you to lie or anything like that. I'm just telling you what actually works for people, because I had actually an associate that did this and it worked for them just fine. All right, coming in at number 3, did you know that Navy Federal had something that was called a credit limit migration? Basically, you can take your credit limit from one credit card and you can transfer it over to another credit card. A lot of institutions actually don't have this. So this is actually a hidden gem with the Navy Federal, but there are some stipulations to it. But basically, it's if you have a credit card that, let's just say you have the Go Rewards card and you barely use it, you can actually transfer that credit limit over to, let's just say you have the Navy Federal flagship card and you want to transfer it over there, you can do that with no problem. The only stipulation to that is to qualify for this, the credit card has to be unsecured. It cannot be the N Rewards card. The amount on the credit card has to be $10K or more, and you have to have 1 year of good credit card standing. If you're a person that really takes your credit very seriously, this is not an issue with you. So let's just say, for example, you have, like I said, the flagship, and let's say you have $40,000 on it or $50,000 and you barely use your Go Rewards card. What you can do is you can take the limit from that and add it over to your actual Navy flagship card. All you have to do is call a representative and talk to them and say, hey, I rarely don't use this card, but I really want to transfer everything over to the flagship because that's my main card now. They will do it with no problem. They probably won't take everything off. They'll probably keep a small balance on it, but if anything, you could take probably 90% of it actually and migrate it over to the new card. All right, coming in at number 4, I've seen a lot of people online talk about all the great things that you can do with Navy Federal, but they never talk about the maximum limits of what you can actually do with them, because there are limits. So with all the great credit cards that you can obtain with them, you're only allowed 3 credit cards maximum with them. And the actual max funding for them, for all 3 combined, is $50,000. Yes, there is a stipulation. Actually, the black flagship card, that is an exception, because the credit card max limit with that does go up to $80,000, and it has an annual fee. If you paid attention, all the other credit cards don't have annual fees. So the flagship, just put that in a separate box in itself, because that's in a league of its own. But actually, you can only have 3 credit cards max. So let's say you have the Go Rewards card, the flagship, and you can have another credit card as well. With those 2 cards, you can have $50,000, and also with the flagship, you can have $80,000. But I just wanted to let you guys know that, because I know a lot of people like to really have a lot of credit cards, credit stacking, things of that nature. Always remember, you can only get up to 3 credit cards and max funding $50,000. Flagship is an exception. All right, and coming in at number 5, did you know that you can lower your APR rate on your credit card? Yes, this is a thing. I actually talked to a representative and they said that this is actually possible. So when it comes to the actual credit card itself, let's just say because of the times we're in, APR rates are extremely high. And I know that can become very annoying for some people. But like I said, if you're trying to take your credit seriously, if you're trying to turn over a new leaf, or let's just say the whole time you actually taking care of your credit, you can actually have the luxury of lowering your APR rate. So with that being said, let's just say, for example, I'm just throwing numbers out there. Let's just say your APR rate on your flagship card is 25%. Let's just say that. If you've had 1 year of good payment history with them, you can actually call up the representatives and tell them, hey, I feel my APR rate is a little high and I want to actually have it come down. Now, there isn't a specific number that you can ask them for, but what they can do is they can actually take you up on that offer and they can actually lower it. So wouldn't it be better to actually have a credit card that instead of it being at 25%, it can be at 16%, anything of that nature? Of course that sounds better. The reason why is because I understand and I know that you're paying all your credit cards off at the end of the month. You're not paying the minimum balance, so you're not keeping your utilization at 30%. But let's just say that you had a hiccup one month. Let's just say you can only pay the minimum balance. I would rather pay the minimum balance for that 1 month with a 16% APR rate than a 25%. Because at the end of the day, Navy Federal is also all about making money as well, which is why they will not tell you that they can actually lower the APR rate on credit cards if you've had really good credit card payment history with them for 1 year or more. So to actually be qualified for this, they will look at your internal score and also your credit score along with your good payment history to make sure that you're actually liable and you can actually accept this. So just keep that in mind. So with the recap on this, guys, you got to remember 3 cards, $50,000, flagship is an exception. You can lower your APR rate. You just got to give them a call. Your internal score is a must. Have it at 250 or above. I'm telling you, that is the best sweet spot that you can have. And the list goes on. So if you have to rewind this, if you have to look at this, write it all down, I don't blame you. I did the same thing when I talked to the representatives, but I just wanted to throw this information out there for you guys, for people that are in Navy Federal or trying to access into Navy Federal. All right. I want to thank you guys for staying with me till the end. Just make sure you like and subscribe for weekly content. I try to give out as much information as I can for tips, tricks, and hacks for Navy Federal or your credit in general. And until next time, ladies and gents.